Halo 2 has been celebrating its 20th anniversary recently. Yes, Halo 2 was released back in November 2004. It's kind of crazy to think about it, it's already such a long time ago. In order to celebrate this event, 343 added a great journey playlist that I guess many of you guys already have been trying out if you're a Halo fan. If not, then this might inspire you to do just that, since you're now able to play Delta Arena, which is Halo Infinite's way and intention to let you embody the gameplay that some of you guys experienced already back in 2004. This is an updated or modern take on the legacy we all remember from those days. In Delta Arena, you will be able to play a mix of Slayer, Oddball, CTF meaning Capture the Flag, and King of the Hill on some of the maps that many of you will recognize, although their names have slightly been changed from the original maps. In the Delta Arena modes, there will be no sprint, no clamber, but increased jump height and friendly player collision. Now this is how the original Halo games used to play and how they were designed, and I'm getting back to that in a moment. The last time I made a video about Halo or Halo Infinite was in June this year, and in March I made a video about the Master Chief Collection, so feel free to check them out if you're interested later on. However, with that said, I haven't played so much Halo recent years compared to back in the days. But when I heard about the Delta Arena playlist, I downloaded Halo Infinite once more in order to check it out. And how great it feels to be back on some of these maps to start with, and not to mention the features that we talked about recently when it comes to no sprint and no clamber. After a couple of hours playing the Delta Arena playlist, I can say for sure that it did convince me that this is the way that Halo should be played and designed. I can understand that it might feel a bit odd for some of you guys if you started to play Halo games after the first 3 OD games, meaning Halo 1 to 3. Because sprint wasn't added into Halo until 2010 with Halo Reach as an optional ability, and it didn't become a base ability until 2012 with Halo 4. This is a part of the evolution, of course, when it comes to movement in shooters, but in my opinion it works better in some other games and franchises, but for me personally that has never really been the case with Halo. The difference how Halo plays with sprint compared to no sprint is huge, since sprint certainly brings another kind of dynamic and playstyle into the game when being added. And that might be cool in a pretty fast-paced shooter such as Call of Duty, but Halo has been more tactical and competitive compared to some of the other arcade style of shooters out there. But it might be both interesting and important to mention that sprint was planned to be implemented already back in Halo 2. Sprint would have been automatic in that version, immediately increasing the player's speed if they kept walking forward for a certain distance. Well, I'm personally really glad that that didn't happen. Since I joined the Halo universe when Halo 3 was released, playing it on Xbox and grinded the multiplayer pretty hard before also going back in order to play the first 2 games as well, I got used to and adapted to a playstyle and a way of thinking where positioning, map knowledge, gun skill of course, etc. were more prominent than the actual movement. That is something that I believe has defined Halo and also made it so good, somewhat unique and interesting compared to other more straightforward run and gun games, where running, jumping, air strafing, butt sliding has partly become focus or meta more than anything else. Yes, it can mean that the gameplay feels slow or slower from time to time compared to other shooters, but it will also encourage more 1v1 gunfights, especially in combination with a somewhat slower TTK due to armor and also the weapon balancing in Halo. Something that I can appreciate a lot, since many modern shooters build their core gunplay experience on a pretty fast TTK, which means that you'll get killed fast without really being able to engage before getting dropped. Not always, but quite often. That doesn't mean though that I don't play those kind of shooters as well, because I do. I like the mix of experiences when it comes to FPS games, but if I'll have to choose one way only, it would be the OG Halo way, if that makes sense. Yes, these kind of settings and design puts a lot of focus on gunplay, gun skill and also teamwork. Clamber, or should I say vaulting, is another thing that you won't be able to do when playing the Delta Arena playlist. Some players want it and means that it makes the game flow better and more fluid, whilst others say that it comes with a cost, since when there's no clamber, players got used to be able to make all jumps while looking in any direction, and also doing any action like shooting or throwing nades at the same time. This is something that took time to perfect for each map, but it made you better at the game once you knew the maps like the back of your hand. With clamber in the game, we need to be facing the ledge and pressing jump and jump again to perform an unskippable animation that prevents you from acting for a brief moment. As always, there's pros and cons with everything, and the above mentioned also has to do with map design, meaning as an example that if ledges were lower, then you'll never have to use clamber at all. Again, it's what you prefer, but since Halo has always been an arena-like shooter, I do not believe that clamber is a necessary thing. But as said earlier, it's also part of the evolution of gaming, and developers want to reach out to newer and younger generations as well. And I guess there are as many opinions about this as there's berries in the forest, so feel free to fill in what you think about sprint and clamber in Halo as well. In addition to the Halo 2 Delta Arena multiplayer experience, you can also play Firefight in third-person mode. Now this sounds like fun, and I'll definitely gonna check out that later. Now this is the first time in Halo matchmaking history that you are able to play Firefight in third-person mode. And since I've played a lot of third-person shooters through the years, Gears of War as an example, I'm totally down for this. I see that there's also been updates overall, for example when it comes to ranked in Halo Infinite, such as 2 new map additions, and this is all good. And I've had a good time playing the Delta Arena playlist, I think you've understood that by now. And maybe this is something though that 343 should have added earlier even, since I have a feel that it is very much appreciated by the community and many players. Now let's see what lies ahead of us also when it comes to a new upcoming Halo title, like change of graphics engine into Unreal Engine 5. And I do hope with that, but also other features and also design-wise, that the next Halo game will overall have better stability, performance, more content also over time, etc. compared to what we've seen so far, especially initially when it comes to Halo Infinite, that never really caught my attention, at least for a longer period of time. But again, kudos to 343 for adding this Halo 2 homage, if you will. It would be very interesting to hear what you think about it, so feel free to leave those kind of thoughts in the comments. I also want to say thank you for watching, and I hope to talk to you soon again in an upcoming video here on my channel. So have a great day, and later.